Welcome, everyone. The three idiots of the channel Sports with Sudhaji are back together after a long time. And just look at the faces of us three idiots. We are so happy. Anybody wants to guess? I mean, on the comment section or any of the panelists, Aniket and Delvin, do you want to say, eager to say what has happened tonight?
I
I
mean,
mean,
the
in the
Lakers
morning.
won, right? The Lakers won. I
Yeah,
think that's
Lakers
what
did
happened.
one.
Okay, that was
Oh yeah,
obvious. That was
it was
obvious.
obvious. We were going to win. That
But
was for sure.
we saw
Delvin, but
Beam
why
getting
are you
lit.
happy? Yeah,
I mean,
Delvin, why are you so happy?
such a beautiful day. I mean, let me just well, Warriors fans, if you look right here, I'm going to light the beam. This
Okay, okay,
beam,
okay.
this beam is a sign of all the shitness that has been happening throughout the course of the season, and I've lit the beam. This season has not happened. The Warriors franchise does not exist. Clay's a bum. Draymond's a donkey, and we are smoking on that Stephanie pack today.
Oh yes, oh yes. Oh, did the beam go off or
Yeah,
not?
yes,
Ah,
it's lit. It's
because
lit.
It's
because
lit.
I because I don't want to forget whatever happened today.
It's lit.
You know, I don't want to forget. I once a hater, always a hater
What
of
a
the
what
Warriors
a
dynasty.
beautiful that it was poetry in motion. Like Martin Scorsese,
Oh yes.
absolute cinema,
Yep.
I
absolute
mean,
cinema.
the game was not even that close. There you could say, oh, Warrior tried their best. It was so way off. It was so way
I
off.
mean,
It was so one-sided.
yeah, they did try their best to lose the game.
Oh
So
yes.
yeah, they did. They wanted to go to Cancun more than the playoffs at this point. So
Oh yes.
I think
Yeah.
Oh
it's
yes.
understandable.
I think they've
Yes.
had such a crazy season, right? I mean, imagine like I'm sitting here at work and I have the same points as Clay Thompson, who's played 32 minutes in an
With
entire
lesser
game. So
shots,
me and
with
Clay have the
lesser
same
shots,
points.
with lesser
Oh,
shots.
With leather.
okay.
so so
Okay. Okay.
it's
Aniket,
been
is
such a.
that the reason why you're wearing, that shirt and all
I'm
tonight?
suited today for this Warriors downfall. I'm suited and booted. I don't have the boots, but I'm suited at least. You know
Yeah,
exactly. This is me on the right of this picture. We all suited up for the Warriors downfall.
yeah. And the
Not hating
next,
on them. It's just paying condolences to the legacy of their 10 years that they've had. So we
and this
all
is me,
suited, and that's
and this
Delvin
is
there.
me. Yeah, just stopped by my biggest hater's funeral just to make sure that the bozo was dead. Rest in peace.
Disclaimer to all the viewers, I am not part of this. They forced me to do this. So if you want to report or do anything, don't
And
report this channel. I'll give you ad for each of this guy. You can abuse them personally.
I think, I
But
think
but but
the
but tell me, Warriors are shit. I agree to it.
yes, of course they are. And the funeral home is different. I think it was the
Right.
SAC Stadium and not Nekasha Funeral Home. But the the rest is the same. Rest in peace, indeed. Rip Bozo. Rip Bozo. I mean,
I mean,
we talk about Steph, we talk about Draymond, we talk about Clay Thompson. I think we forget one person who, at this point, I think we should think that he should already retire. Like, there's no point of him playing in the NBA, and that's Chris Paul.
oh yes.
Because
Yep.
yeah, bro thought he'd come to Warriors, win a ring, stat pad something. Turns out 60. Oh my
You know,
days. He's literally a 1, 2, 3 Cancun. That is literally that is Cancun numbers. One,
Wait,
two,
wait,
three.
wait. Chris Paul has been sober for 3 years now. Remember what he told after going to the finals? He said, "I'm addicted to going to the finals," and he's been sober since then. So respect Chris Paul. You got to teach people how you're being so sober, man.
Yeah, dude, I
moreover, that guy was living off on assists for like 3 or 4 seasons. Just look at his assist number, man. Two, two.
yes,
Yeah,
Come on, come on.
completely ineffective season, I think, for Chris Paul.
absolutely, absolutely.
With
One
Clay
person
Thompson.
I feel sorry for is Steve Kerr in the situation because he's got 4 Hall of Famers and he's basically got nothing from them in this specific game, especially Clay Thompson, who
Right,
just had a big donut. So
right.
a big failure for them this season, and maybe Steve Kerr's job also is on the line. If you want to talk about it, in a few minutes or something.
More
I
like
mean,
Kerr should walk away from this cesspit at this point, rather than being shown the door. I think he should just walk away.
don't you think that because of his main guys, the Splash Brothers, Warriors have become that one-dimensional team. They are just relying on three-pointers and not trying anything else. Because if you look at other teams, they,
Yeah,
even though there are a lot of teams who don't have prolific three-pointers, but somehow they have, catch and shoot guys, pick up and roll guys. They have a few three-pointers who are three-point shooters who are averaging 38, 39% on the season. So, Warriors is the only team, that rely more on three-pointers than anything else. Do you think Steve Kerr actually needs to look into his coaching style and change a bit?
I think
yeah.
there is. Yeah, Aniket, you can go for it. I'll take
Yeah,
it
I'll just
after.
take a minute and then you can probably take a stab at the question which Harry asked. So, for me, I mean, Warriors fans have always complained, from last year's playoffs or even before that, they don't get respect from the referees for free throws and all that. But as
Right.
we all know, they are a 3 point shooting team. They've shot probably the most 3 pointers of any team in probably the last 5 or 6 years in the NBA. So, yes, it's become a little too, predictable in terms of they're going to set screens for Steph, they're going to set screens for Clay and Jordan Poole when he was there, and then get them good looks on the 3 point, the 3 point arc. So it does seem like people have figured them out over these past years, and now there are teams like the Sacramento Kings who are an up and coming team under Mike Brown that has kind of a number on them. Although they did not get past them in last year's playoffs, they have been very they've learned from their experience and now taken on the challenge. And without one of the best bench scorers in Malik Monk, they had just about enough to take them down this game. I would say they won pretty comfortably, right? They had the right tactics against them. They knew what to who to guard, when to guard, and I mean, you just saw Clay Thompson being absolutely ineffective. So that was obviously a bunch of missed shots, but obviously they guarded Clay, as well as they could, with the score, with the kind of defenders they have. So yes, the teams have learned the Warriors playbook, and definitely Kerr needs to go back, see what needs to change. Firstly, see if the same team needs to come back again as
Not
well.
at all. Not at
No,
all.
no. I
Being a
think it's
basketball
yeah.
fan, it
It's
is,
time.
stupid.
It's time the Warriors look forward. Like I think one of the biggest reasons why they've been so bad this season is their reluctance to look forward.
Right.
Giving Draymond that extension, keeping Clay on for this year, where they could have traded him and got something in return. Where I think now they won't get that much also. And I think the only player who should emerge out of this season with even a little semblance of credit is Steph,
Step.
because he's single-handedly carried them to relevance this season. Whatever
Right.
little relevance that they've
Right.
had is because of Steph throughout the course of this season. So I personally believe that apart from Steph, rest of the squad, rest of the roster needs to be held accountable for their actions, because you cannot go missing for
Exactly.
so long. Wiggins went
Exactly.
missing for quite a while in the season. Chris Paul was nowhere near his best. The less said about Draymond, the better. He's been in the news for all the wrong
All the
reasons.
wrong
All
reasons
the
in the
wrong,
world.
yeah, exactly. So I believe there should be a huge inquest into the roster. This roster needs to break up, plain and simple. And yes, there is obviously the expectation that things will get better, but no, it's going to get worse before it gets better, because
Oh, yes.
I don't think a lot of players will now want to come to the Warriors, depending
Yeah.
on exactly it is. But yeah, there is a lot of thinking. There's a lot of reflection and introspection that has to be done in that Warriors front office, which includes conversations about player futures, which includes conversations about Steve Kerr's immediate future, whether he wants to continue from a personal capacity or no. There are a lot of things that need to be taken into consideration, but this has been a very dismal season for the Warriors. Even if they did have made the playoffs from here, I don't think they would have been able to make much of a splash. I'm sorry.
Right. Right. And just to back it up, like whatever Delvin has said, Just look at Andrew Wiggins' numbers this season. Just have a look at
Yep.
it.
Definitely been a down.
Just see
Yeah.
the downfall. 5
13
points per
points.
game.
And he's on a very
Yeah.
big contract
He's
as well.
13.2, averaging 13. Oh yes. Then also not playing Kaminga
Yeah, I think
for a big part of the season. Like he was one of the most emerging best guys that Warriors had in so many years on the roster last season, and suddenly he was not used properly.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I think there
I
was
think there have
there was
been
an
a lot
article
of confusing.
also,
There have
right?
been a lot of confusing roster decisions from the Warriors as well.
Exactly.
I don't know how you pronounce that name, Brandon, whatever it is.
Podziemski.
Yeah, he
Kuzinski.
was a breath of fresh air for them.
He was.
Kuminga did well. Looney in the limited time that he played also showed glimpses, but then like there is very little existence of a young core where you can build around from the Warriors, and that is the
Exactly.
biggest cause of concern. Add to the fact
Right.
that they are very poor pickers in the draft as well, because no one in their right mind would have actually selected James Wiseman as second pick. I had serious concerns about Wiseman when he was in the draft. So
Right.
they are very poor pickers in the draft. So even if they do get a higher pick or a lottery pick, you're not exactly sure what their pick is going to be, and will it actually end up being a valuable addition to the roster or no?
And
So
they don't have
there
that
are-
pick this year.
yeah, I mean, even if they do, are you really sure that they're going to bank it into an absolute quality pick? Which is a concern. Like if you can, and especially at this time where organic roster building for the Warriors has to be priority.
Yes.
Do you really believe that they will pick well in the draft? So there are reasons
I don't
to,
think
there are huge reasons to worry. It's like
Yeah.
a massive
You know,
reason
they-
to worry.
Again, they might go in for a shooter because that's all they're looking for players and try to
They
build
need a fresh
players.
they need a fresh defense. They need a lot of fresh impetus.
Like just Delvin mentioned at the beginning, apart from Stephen Curry, actually, all the other people, be it Chris Paul, be it Klay Thompson, be it Draymond Green, these guys need to go. If Steph really wants to be part of the franchise again, or else he can choose to move out to some other franchise.
Correct.
And
I was gonna come to that.
Draymond and all can be part of Warriors. Delvin, it all depends on the contract which any big team might be willing to give him, because he might not go in for a vet minimum or something like that, because he
No.
would say, I still have got
Which
it.
team,
I still have got it.
which team has the salary or the cap space to make a play for Steph?
Lakers.
Please. If you don't want to go out of this team, take that.
LeBron.
I mean, I would
that-
trade D'Lo and Rui and Austin Reeves and a pick for Steph, man.
that
Austin
light
Warriors wanted.
Reeves.
that
Austin
light
I vote for
Reeves.
Steph. For
that
Steph,
light
man.
skin fucker. That light skin fucker.
Bro.
Bro,
I-
I would die to see Steph, LeBron, and AD in one team.
Bro. Your wishes will come true come the Olympics.
I know,
Because they are in
but
one
I don't
game.
want to see them only
They
for
are
like
in one
8 games.
And that's fine, because I want the white LeBron James in my team forever. That's
I
Austin
mean, if you
fucking
get
Reeves.
knocked out in the first round, then you have to think if go for Steph, or if you have an option, or keep Austin Reeves and go out in the first round again.
See, Aniket, the thing is, Steph had a very start and stop season this year. And, it was quite evident that his numbers might go down even further than next year. It was quite evident. He was not the same guy. He was trying too hard. He seems exhausted. We can see there. Adding another veteran who is almost towards the twilight of his career to the team would be one of the most biggest blunders Rob Pelinka is gonna make. After all the youngsters that he has gathered to be the core of the team going forward, I would not go back. I would not take that step. I would not take that step.
Just to go a
Anyway.
little bit off topic, I think
Right.
the NBA has come out with a statement release. Jonte Porter has got a lifetime ban
Yes.
from the NBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For betting, right?
Yeah.
खुद पे betting करेगा, मैं
I
जानबूझ
think
के
I think
हारेगा.
Nikola Jokic also was involved in betting. Just ban him, get him out of the series against the Lakers. Get him
But
out.
that is
I
on
have
his
substantial
horses,
evidence
not on
against Jokic.
himself. That was on his horses, not on
Get him
himself.
out. Get him out.
Anyway, let's move on to the next game that happened. The Lakers and the Pels.
I think
I
y'all
know,
are
I know,
y'all are,
I
y'all are
don't
much
know.
suited.
I know. Delvin. Everybody knows me and Aniket are going to be biased with it. But if you could talk about the game for a minute, it will be good for the viewers. Like,
I
did you
mean,
expect it to be the game how it happened, or you?
I did expect it to be competitive. I read a lot, so I was reading a lot of them keeping Pelicans as favorites over the Lakers, which I thought was pretty stupid in hindsight. I mean, obviously now that the game is over, you always have the benefit of hindsight. But then I think even when they were putting in Pelicans above the Lakers, I thought that was stupid enough. And I think they've all made to eat their words, because I did not see much of the game, so I'm not really sure. But
Right.
I think based on the scoreline, I think it was safe to say that LeBron had a monster game again. So
23-9-9.
yeah, so I think
But the one guy who had a monster on a losing side, Zion.
he got injured again, right? If I'm not sure,
Right.
if
Right.
I'm not mistaken, he got
Yeah,
injured during the game.
he
So
had a
that's a,
left hamstring strain and he missed the last 2 minutes, the most important minutes of the game.
yeah.
So
So
who knows
that's
what would
that's
have
a
happened?
that's a concern for Pels going ahead while playing Sack.
Yeah.
So he had a 40-pointer, dude. Okay, that's a
Yeah,
great
he was the
stat.
best player in the game.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Would you do with
Unmatchable,
Zion?
unplayable.
Would you do with Zion?
Who, the Lakers?
Yes. Yeah. Would you?
No,
Would you?
no.
Aniket, would you?
He's a fat AD.
You mean
No
trade
offense.
for him or what
Yeah,
are
yeah.
you asking?
Would you have Zion in the Lakers? Is what I'm asking.
And Anthony
Not
Edwards.
as, I don't think so because of his injury history, right? It's difficult
Okay.
to rely on
Makes
him
sense.
at this
That's
point.
Just
He's
that's
not
what
been
I said.
yeah,
consistently
just putting
played.
a
He's not consistently
yeah,
played for
that's
a long
fair.
time.
Just putting a question out there. So
Yeah, he's fat Anthony. I mean Anthony Davis. For the first time in 4 or 5 years, AD played almost. He
I mean,
was
it's a pretty
injury
close
free.
game. Pretty
Yeah,
close game. They had
yeah,
contributions from everyone. With
right.
Ingram, I think Ingram, for his quality that he's shown, I think that's an off game for me.
So,
11 for stat line.
so if I had to speak on this game for a minute, for like 20 seconds
Sure,
more, I
sure,
would
sure,
say
sure.
that the
Sure.
Lakers blew the Pelicans out, right, Harry, in the last game. So obviously this
Yes,
game was going to be a little more competitive because Pelicans had a shot to get that 7 seed as well.
right,
So
right.
I think the Lakers and the Pelicans traded blows in the first 2 quarters, and the Lakers took a 15-point lead in the third. And then they
Yes,
relaxed a little bit, just like the Lakers do every game. And then Pelicans came
exactly.
back, stormed back to
Yeah,
tie the game. And then once Zion left, I think Lakers, kind of shot some threes. LeBron got into his bag, and they just managed to squeak out the win.
I mean you can see for yourself over here that the field goal percentage for Pelicans was more. Though
I
Lakers
think it
had a
came
good
down to the
3-point
three
percentage.
pointers. Yeah, I think it came
Yeah,
down to the 3 pointers and the free throws
yeah,
also.
yeah, yeah. We are a team that loves free throws, and I'm totally happy with that. It's much more of a safer option than going in for a three
Yeah.
pointer, while a free throw is more than anything else.
I mean,
But just look at this.
y'all were out rebounded also. So winning
Yeah,
after getting out rebounded is a huge achievement in itself.
exactly,
Although this
exactly.
cannot happen with the Nuggets, because they're going to blow
Oh,
you
yeah.
out of the water. If you're out rebounded by the Nuggets, you might as well start thinking about a sweep already, because the one team that you cannot afford to get out rebounded by is Nuggets. Like, you just can't. With the amount of ball winners that they have, with Yoke,
Yes.
with Gordon, with Michael
Jamal
Porter,
Murray.
they I mean, I'm talking about ball winners, like winning that
Yeah,
second ball. Like, you cannot afford to give them second chances. Like, they'll kill you with those second chance points. And with LeBron himself saying on the Mind the Game podcast, which is just a breath of fresh air at this point. Have to give props where it is due. Jokic knows the court at the back of his hands, and this is something that is coming from LeBron, who's one of the most savant-esque floor generals in the league that we have. So if if LeBron says it, then obviously you have to, you have to sit up and take notice. So, and with Yoke knowing where these players are, you just can't. You have to win your rebounds. You have to be proactive on the glass. You just
The
have to.
hustle points and the
Yes,
second chance point.
absolutely. Yes, yes.
Because if people go and watch all the 4 games that were played between Los Angeles Lakers and the Denver Nuggets, in the dying minutes, the second chance points and the hustle points that the Denver had over the Lakers were the reason the Lakers lost those matchups. Or else it would have been a 3-1 advantage to Lakers in the season. But just because of that, and when we go into the fourth quarter with the Nuggets, the way they come at you, Nuggets, like Aniket have always mentioned, and even Delvin has mentioned, they haven't hit the fifth gear as of now. They're still in a stall mode, on a cruise mode. They don't want to hit that, that we are fucking coming for you. But as soon as they get into the fourth quarter and the dying minutes, and they are
Yep.
trailing by even 10 points, we see those guys running, going for that extra steal, going for being extra physical, which other teams don't do. And that is the time Lakers players go down with their head. They just feel depressed, like what has happened with us, and they just can't put themselves up. I just don't want this to happen again, because getting swept again would be very embarrassed for this Lakers side, and it will also prove that we are not good enough even to play in for the playoffs, even to be alive for the playoffs. That would be my assessment of Lakers if we get swept 4-0 in the upcoming series.
I think it's very simple. Each of the Laker players have to have games, have to have the series of their lives. Like there is, I think even 100% won't do at this point. Like you have to give
No.
200% against this Laker.
Oh, yes.
against
I
this
mean,
Laker team. Yeah.
LeBron has to have the series of his life in year 21.
I mean,
so that
he's,
speaks
21.
he's
volumes.
and with all respect to him, he's been having series of his life for since the past season. Like he's been pulling out miracle games out of his ass for
Yeah.
God knows how long. But I think you need to start having more contributions from the rest, because obviously I think, I don't know, because it is about time that this team stands up without LeBron. Like whenever LeBron's not on the floor, these players just don't seem to, continue the momentum that he set out for them, and that becomes a huge problem.
I mean,
Davis,
Delvin,
Davis cannot exactly lead the second unit out, which
Right.
with all due respect to his qualities as a player, he just can't lead that second unit out there.
Right,
So that's a
right.
problem.
But there have been some games without LeBron that Lakers have won, but there was a shocking games, because we were trailing like 20-25 points, and
Yeah.
suddenly DLO gets into his mood out of nowhere and starts shooting 3-pointers.
This has to be
But
a
like you
regular
said,
occurrence.
but like you said, the problem is with whenever you have a guy like LeBron in your team, he loves ball in his hands. Everybody knows that. He wants to have ball in his
He
hands
does.
every time. Every time. Just stop it, bro. Just stop it. That was slip of tongue. Just stop it. Just stop it. So
He's a womanizer.
yeah.
First of all, happy.
First of all, happy. Yeah, okay. He loves the ball in his hands. Yes, we know that.
Yeah. So, he is the first one who would say if the team is 2 points down, I would go for a, drive in, go for a layup, just go there, put the pointer, come back. Then goes for another layup, goes for a 3. So, players understand that. Now the thing is, if Lakers do have to, try to stay or try to play without LeBron, they really have to restrict his limits the next season. Like they have to say, LeBron, you're not going to play more than 22 minutes. So
Oof.
everybody knows that we have to contribute.
Will LeBron agree to that?
No,
That's the
because
issue.
he's gonna get.
If,
He's never gonna agree to
if
it, and
LeBron is
he'll be
playing
another.
22 minutes, then Lakers definitely need 2 stars.
Imagine if Darwin Ham just goes and says LeBron 22 minutes. Darwin Ham's getting the sack in the next 22 minutes if he says that to LeBron.
No, but Dalvin, that will only make sense for the Lakers side, because whenever you need something,
Or even better, like what Aniket said, you need another star. If you
Sure.
want
That's
to,
what I've
if you
been
want
saying
to,
for
I'm
over
not
a
if you
year.
Russell
want
Westbrook.
to ease,
Somebody
if
you
you
can
want to,
shoot.
if you want to ease LeBron's workload throughout the course of this 82 game season, I mean, at this point, it is pretty obvious that he's not going to play for any accolade like an like an MVP or an MIP or a DPOY, or even I think he's not going to play for even the All NBA considerations. I think he's earned enough money already. So if you want to reduce all of his workload, you might as well get another star who can shoot and who can pass.
Luka Doncic, simple answer. Very tough to
But
acquire.
again, it depends. It depends on this season. So I
Exactly.
think we had this conversation with Pratyush whether you want the
Yeah.
Clippers to win or whether you want the Mavs to win. Like it's a tough
Yeah.
call for you all because if Clippers win, they go to the next round obviously, and if the Mavs win, then obviously the chances of landing Luca for the Lakers becomes that much
No,
more
but
difficult.
but Delvin, see, if the Mavs don't make it to the finals, then I guess Luka might move. Winning this quarterfinal is not a big deal because a lot of teams do win that.
Yeah.
Reaching the conference final is much more, worthy than, playing a
They did reach it
quarterfinal or
once,
win.
right? They did reach
Yeah,
once, right? They lost. I think they lost to the Warriors, if I'm not wrong.
right.
I
Or
mean, the Mavericks have won a championship long time back with
no, they
Dirk
made the
Nowitzki.
Western Conference Finals a couple of seasons ago, I think, under
I'm
They have
Bobby.
talking
not
with
made the
Luka.
conference finals in a long time since. Yeah, I don't know when.
You
See,
sure?
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, we have talked enough for the Western Conference stuff. Till the time Delvin checks the stuff out about the Dallas Mavericks, let's move on to the Eastern Conference. The
Dude, they did make
two,
it. They did make it to 2022 Conference Finals. They lost
Okay.
to the Warriors. I think they got swept.
Oh, this was the season where Steph won the
Where
title
Steph
and
won it.
Warriors won the
Yeah, yeah,
title.
where they won it. Yeah,
Okay.
2020. Acha,
22.
a year before last. A year before.
A couple of years. Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Right,
they
right,
did
right.
make a conference final.
I guess this was the time, it was Porzingis and Luka
It
in
was
the same team.
Porzingis and Luca.
Correct.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
I mean, Lakers were
And
not there in the playoffs and
with
Clippers were not in the
I
playoffs
think
too.
there's Brunson in this team too.
Yeah.
There was
Yes, yes,
Brunson in
yes,
this
yes,
team
yes,
too.
yes. Yes. And yeah. Okay. The matchup. Philly versus the Miami Heat.
It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, very
Yeah.
interesting because there's Embiid back, and that changes the entire narrative of this game. Like there is, and there is a reason why the Cavs, purposely tanked the game against Charlotte. That we do not want to face we do not want to face the 76ers in the first round. And even though eventually the Knicks ended up winning against the Bulls in overtime, but till that point it was looking very, very likely that the Cavs were going to end up with the second seed. But we had a 24-point lead against the Hornets, and we just bottled it from there. I think it made sense because we got to play the Magic. So I think this game is going to be very, very interesting, and the Knicks are going to have a horrible time against whoever wins this game. Whoever wins this game,
Yeah.
they're going to have a horrible, horrible time. If it is Philly with Embiid and Maxi there, it's going to be a very tough
Gone.
series for them. And if it is Miami, then Jordan's illegitimate son, Jimmy Butler, is definitely going to make things very, very complicated for them. So, yeah.
Okay, so just to ask you on hypothetical, not hypothetically, what do you guys think? Who would you want? The team to win in this contest, Philly or Miami?
I'm definitely
What are your
rooting for
choices?
Miami. I'm definitely rooting for Miami, but if Embiid does have a monster game, it's very difficult to look past the Sixers.
Right, Aniket.
Yeah. I agree as well. I think Miami is an easy team to root for, right? I mean, so they have. We are going to get the first taste of postseason Jimmy in this game. So let's see how that goes on. And then we have a well motivated Bam Adebayo as well, since he's been selected to the U.S. national team also. So they look like a team that can take down the Sixers. Embiid is, he's just been back a few games into his few games post his injury, so we'll see how he goes up against Bam and Jimmy and all these boys. So I'm expecting Philly to win, but if Miami wins, that's going to be a popular choice, popular win for the fans like us.
And what about this matchup?
All right, so I'll give you one key matchup in this game. On one side, you have the plane king, the ultimate master of the plane, that's Trey Young. And on the other side, you have a DeRozan who has put the NBA on notice, and that is DeMar DeRozan's daughter. Imagine the mayhem that she's going to cause from the from the stands. Every free throw that Trey Young makes, you're going to hear voices.
You're gonna hear
You're going to hear,
everything.
yes, you're going to hear it. And I just came across an Instagram post today where Dr. DeRozan, that photo where it's Dr. DeRozan giving the eyes, that crazy, where they drew parallels with the LeBron eyes. The poster came, dude. It was so hilarious, and I can't wait to see Dr. DeRozan be a menace, be an absolute menace to the Atlanta Hawks. Dude. I just want to see that. If I was there in Chicago, I would pay money to watch that game.
Yep.
More or less, I feel it's gonna be an easy cakewalk ride for Chicago Bulls in this game.
Yeah,
But
because
it's the NBA. You never know what. I mean, anything can happen.
you see, Atlanta absolute bozos at defense. Like
I agree.
I cannot say any good word about their defense. I cannot even be nice. They're just bozos. They're just bad.
I think it's Atlanta's a very conflicted team at this point. Like I would say they're going to be a very different team next season. With DeJounte Murray in trade rumors and Trae Young also in trade rumors. So it's like I don't think they even wanted to be in this playing spot, but just because the East is just so bad. I mean, from 10 down to 14. So it's just that they found
I
themselves
see
in this
you're
situation.
I see you're
So
not even counting the Pistons. You just went 10-14.
exactly,
Exactly.
Charlotte Hornets, Pistons, and whoever else is there. So I mean, look at the record. They're like what 8 or 9 games below 500, and they're still making the play-in. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Chicago
Okay.
probably should win this game.
Okay. Another rumor that's making round the corner in NBA. Trae Young being rumored to be the third star for the Lakers next season. Aniket, what's
That's
your
a
take
bad
on it?
trade. That's a bad.
Lakers are
Very
definitely
bad
going to
trade.
be in on him, along with a few other teams if he's on the trade block. So they have to contemplate whether LeBron is going to stay for how long, and if Trey Young is the right superstar or the right star to pair next to AD. So it depends on the price, right? If you're going to give up Hachimura, Reeves, picks, is Trey Young the piece you want to invest in for the
Yeah.
next four to
I
five
don't
years?
buy it. I don't buy it.
Not at all.
I don't buy it.
Or
I'll
you want to
I
wait
I'll
for somebody like Luca to be available, say in the next year or two?
either Luca or Anthony Edwards. As of now, these are the two guys that have caught my eye a lot, and Luca is actually the legitimate, you know, bearer, the
Successor.
flag bearer, and successor, and everybody
Not
calls him the Prince of NBA.
not Devin.
So Devin Booker, no,
I mean,
No. Okay. Fair.
I would not want him. I would not want him
All right.
because
there's going to be
he's
options
also
for sure.
like,
So it depends
yeah.
when the Lakers pull the trigger.
Yeah.
And how they sell their future forward to the star, like what's LeBron's role in it is gonna be more of a talk about.
I mean, selling a player on LA is not going to be that difficult. Come on.
No,
It's a
Delvin,
it's a
Delvin,
story. It's a storied ball club. You have
And
had some of the greatest players grace the yellow and the purple and yellow, or purple and gold, whatever it is.
now
You had some of the
purple and yellow is better actually.
yeah,
Purple and
exactly.
yellow.
you've
Yeah.
had
But
some of the best players grace it.
we did.
Everyone who's walked in there have been winners at some point or the other. Even if you take out that bad phase, you still had Kobe there. So there is a lot of things that can be sold on, not just LeBron. Like there is a certain aura to the Lakers franchise.
No, I'm
There
not.
is a
I'm not
reason.
talking about. I'm not talking about selling the LeBron thing. I'm talking about
Right?
what's the future of LeBron. The thing is, now everybody wants to be the star and the focal point of a team. We are in that phase of NBA. That is the why all the stars are going around teams trying to make, and after a long time we have seen a super team having almost 4 or 5 all stars together that we saw in Clippers. that we saw in Clippers after a long, long time. Earlier, it used to be what a team having 2 stars, it's enough capable of going for trying for winning the NBA title. But right now, you need 3 or 4 stars. We have seen it after a long, long time because there was a phase between 2010 and 2020 or 22, like everybody was going here and there trying to be
Very
that one
close.
guy.
Yeah, but that's all multiple stars thing were very close to not working for the Clippers also, because
Right.
we seen the
Yeah,
myriad
Russ
of
is not a star
problems.
anymore as well. He's like a very
and and
ineffective bench player this time.
you're being very, very generous by calling James Harden a
Yeah,
star. Dude.
I
You're
know,
being
I know
very,
that. I
very
know that.
generous.
See, see,
The only
see.
bona fide superstars in that team is Kawhi and
Kawhi,
PG,
PG,
and
right?
those are the only two players who've been balling the fuck out for them. Russ
See,
has been doing it in bits and spurts because he's finally accepted that he's not it anymore,
yeah.
right.
and Harden
But
also is slowly and steadily coming to that realization that he's not going to be Houston Harden anymore.
yeah,
No, but
So
Delvin, the point is now we are talking about who? Luka Doncic, Anthony Edwards, Ja Morant might also come into picture because he's also young, and outside chance of Jason Tatum.
Shea. Oh,
If
I thought you were going to say
somehow,
Shea.
if
yeah.
somehow, if somehow he doesn't win the ring this season, and has some rift, and there are also rumors of Giannis getting pissed off with his
Yeah.
team again.
I mean,
Like
they might get knocked out in the first round. You never know.
Dude,
exactly.
I genuinely think that Giannis injured his knee on purpose. Like, fuck this shit, I don't want to play only.
Man, that team
So,
doesn't look right, man. With Doc and Dame and like, I don't
so
know.
I'm just having this wild dream. Somehow Giannis says it's high time I
gives
move to
me
Lakers,
gives
and
me all
now
the
we
more
have two,
gives me
two,
all the
two.
more cause for optimism that the Cavs might go all the way, dude. It just gives me more optimism at this
Cavs
point.
and Celtics finals and Eastern
No,
Conference
no,
Finals.
cannot,
Oh, they
cannot.
can. Oh, semis. Okay,
It's the
same side of
Eastern
the
Conference
bracket.
Semis. Yeah,
Okay.
same side of the bracket.
So there are a lot of permutations and combinations. But the thing is, the incoming star, he has to first agree onto that reduced role because everyone knows LeBron is gonna stay for another 2 years. He's so healthy. He's so fucking still in his, what do we say? He's not even in twilight of his career. The
He
pace at which he's going, the
he's
pace at which
he's
he's going, it's like he might play till the age of 50.
he's in his twilight, but the twilight is not ending only.
Yeah. I mean, he's
So
like,
It's still evening for him.
yeah,
He's in the evening of his career. It's still not
I mean,
twilight in his case.
he had every fucking thing this season: a poster dunk, a chase down block, 360 dunk.
and doing a
You know,
and doing a podcast also.
yeah,
yeah. I
he
need
wants
I
to
need to
be.
get some other wine he's having, man. It's definitely
Yeah,
making him younger.
I, I'll watch all of these episodes and then put out a resume for being the head coach of the Charlotte Hornets. I'll do better than Steve Clifford at this point. Solely based on the episodes, the knowledge that I've gained from the episodes, I might as well become a head coach for the Charlotte Hornets, dude.
Yeah. I think in
Or
our next episode we have to talk about pick and rolls and elevator screens and
floppies,
stuff.
the Gortat screen, the
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
inverted pick and roll,
I,
pick the
I mean,
picker.
I mean, what that guy has not done this season? What is that he hasn't done this season? There's
Not
nothing.
fired ham. That's the only
Yeah.
thing remaining.
That's the one thing Lakers fan want. Even if
It's
we
not
win a championship game,
Yeah.
we need to fire Darvin Ham.
Win the
not
championship next day, get him out.
he's not made controversy. He's not made controversy.
Exactly. Even though everybody knows he hates Darvin Ham, we can see on his face and everything. But
He's done,
somehow,
he's done everything this season. He scored, he's assisted, he's rebounded, he's blocked, he's dunked, he's rinsed the pants out of two white women. he's made a, he's made a podcast. He's done everything, dude. Like-
but somehow he didn't allow the team to make any move on the trade deadline day, and I was a bit shocked. Why
And they
is this the
somehow had the
Lakers?
best
Is
record.
this
And they had the best
ex-
record to show for it.
yeah?
Yeah, one of the
And
best
I'm like,
for sure.
what
First
the
of
fuck?
all, I'm- Les Riz.
That's
He-
the
he-
high,
for
that's
once,
the highlight of the season, man. Highlight of the
yeah,
regular season is this.
for once he did not put on his GM hat on. For once,
Exactly.
and that's done good for the roster in
I think
general
maybe
also.
it's more of a realization that at this career he's okay to play with the team that he has.
Maybe he's
Maybe it's
come to
because
yeah,
also he knows he
comes
might
to
not win
yeah.
a chip necessarily, but whatever move he makes. So yeah,
Or
maybe
maybe he's
that.
just come to the conclusion that he needs these players equally as they need him to.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
and
You know,
if you get new players at the deadline, it's very difficult. Like,
yeah.
and he's not the same player anymore that he was in 2018, where he replaced an entire roster of hodgepodge players with another roster of hodgepodge players and took them to the finals. He's, of course, he's great, but then
Yeah.
obviously, age definitely has some say. So he's not that same guy anymore that he was 6 years ago. So yeah, makes a lot of sense.
let's take a year back. To the trade deadline day last year.
Yeah,
We got in trades for
Vando,
Rui Hachimura
Vando.
and
Vando,
Vanderbilt and
Russell,
all that stuff.
Hachimura.
So we were planning for, and somehow we got a good run post the trade deadline.
Good
Best
run.
record
Yeah, went to the finals, dude. What good
in
run.
Western Finals. Yeah.
We did make it to the Western Finals, but it was quite a bit of an astonishing run that the
Yeah,
Lakers
for sure.
and we were having a really good season till the in season tournament. After the championship, we had a little bit more of a champagne. Guys
Championship
were like,
hangover.
yeah, we are like, भाई जीत जाएंगे क्या होता है क्या
Yeah.
कुछ नहीं होता.
Everyone
And
spent
after-
their 500,000 a little bit too eagerly, I guess.
And somehow we lost track of everything. And again, as the trade deadline day approached, suddenly we saw the best of Russell, we saw the best of every other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
And
roster
Dinwiddie
actually
coming
showed.
in. And
Yeah,
Dinwiddie
I-
coming in also.
Yeah, exactly. Though Dinwiddie had that one block that was highlight of his whole
Dame.
Dame block, highlight of his Laker career till now. And so he realized, this is actually working. And in the market, if you have to get a guy, you need to give 3 or 4 guys from this roster. So it won't work. It might not work because rumors were DeJounte Murray coming here and
Yeah.
we giving
still
up
come.
on Rui.
Could still come.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there. It not necessarily will, but he could still
Yeah.
come.
But Delvin, now we'll have an off season. At that point of time, we would not have an off season.
Depends how
we
soon.
would be-
Depends how soon.
Exactly. So so that's how a star or the next move the Lakers will.
I just want to
Golden.
confirm, Nuggets have the series sweep over y'all in regular season as well, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
4-0.
Yeah, they did. Okay. Just
And of those, only the first game was a one-sided affair. The second, third, and
rest all
fourth
of
were
them
like
are competitive. All competitive. games.
we were leading till the till the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, and then suddenly they switched
Yeah.
gears, and we know what happens when Nuggets switch gears.
That happened,
And,
happened in the last year's playoffs as well. Same thing.
Yeah.
So
And then Michael Porter Jr. gets into his Stephen Curry mode, and he starts shooting threes from every
lights out.
corner. And then we have Nikola
Jokic, Murray,
throwing
pick and roll.
3-pointers like this.
Unstoppable.
Jokic doing jack shit for 23 seconds and then putting daggers on the last second.
I mean, he's just throwing the ball to the ring and it's going for a 3-point shot. I mean, what the fuck is this happening? And then we have Austin Reeves trying to put in 10 shots for the 3-pointer. Not a single one is going inside the basket.
Jokic is a freak, dude. And the scary part is we've still not seen him put full. He's not gone full tilt in the playoffs also last year, and he's just somehow he's sauntered his way to an NBA title. Like, bro, that guy is mental. He's just absolutely crazy.
Someone is late to the party, it seems.
Win the Cancun tournament, yes.
No,
Now
they'll even lose that. I can bet on it.
I mean, Clay's going 0 for 30 there also.
Yeah. So that's how it's gonna be. So
I think they
guess
do need this. They do need this off season. The Warriors do need this off season because there are
to
some
rethink
really
and
big-
reject.
not just
I think,
rethink. Like, they need to change the very structure of the organization. Like, a lot of questions have to be asked.
Yeah.
A lot of decisions have to be made. So
See, Draymond is going to extended rehab Clay is going to learn his Chinese, so he needs 3-4 months. He needs that longer off season, and then
Right.
Steph has to practice his shooting again. So yeah, I think they deserve their off season.
And also, when they say Draymond needs help, he really needs help to be shown and told he's no more an NBA player. He is just, mental guy who's
Glorified,
playing on the
He's a
glorified
podcaster.
wrestler.
He's not an NBA player.
I mean, there is the WWE draft that will happen in a few weeks. I think he should enlist himself for that.
perfect, so
He would easily,
perfect,
he would
man.
easily go top 5 pick in either Raw or SmackDown. Let him finish his story for once.
Acknowledge me. I want to acknowledge Draymond Green. He's my chief.
We'll acknowledge him putting out our middle fingers on top.
Yes, including Curry.
Tag team
Whatever that
partner.
means.
Tag team partner.
He doesn't-
it's like Undertaker having Rey Mysterio as a tag
He
team
doesn't,
partner.
he doesn't need no tag team partner. He'll go straight away, make a title run, Intercontinental Champion.
Okay, I guess we had a lot of fun, lot of discussion. The three idiots of the podcast of the channel coming together after a long time, and I hope, guys, you keep on seeing us together for coming days. We might also talk on some other sport as well, as it is IPL is going on. Everybody knows that, and in a week or two,
Yes.
the T20 squad might be announced, so there will be a lot of ifs and buts
All
and
be
who's
we're all ready to talk about how we're going to lose another semi-final
yes,
come July.
yes,
Getting up early at morning at 4 o'clock in the morning, only to
Right.
see our hearts broken again by Travis Head again.
yes, that bastard Australian. And,
IPL
and
अच्छा
pa-
IPL
and-
अच्छा खेल लेते हो भाई. अब जाओ बाउंड्री से बॉल उठा के लाओ.
typical Delvin if Travis Head loses the World Cup final. Typical
Oh my
Delvin.
god! If he gets out on 0 in any game, not only against India,
Delvin is getting bowled.
I'm going to smoke that Travis Head pack. Stop by my biggest hater's funeral just to make sure that Bozo was dead.
Okay. Chalo, bye guys. Keep on.
We'll see you in the NBA playoffs.
Oh yes. And also don't forget, on Sunday we have a watch along for the Lakers and the Nuggets game. We'll join at 6:15 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, it's
IST.
quite early. Indian Standard Time, yes.
If you
Indian
have the
Standard Time,
guts, get up.
yes. Okay. Bye guys.
See you guys.